Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be part 3 to my Triple Crown winners. I'm trying to collect all the pitchers and hitters. I have some here in the background of players that I've already showcased. Link below, you'll see some of these players that I've already shed light on. So we're going to start things off with 3 guys which I'm going to showcase here. Starting off with this guy right here, Randy Johnson, who won the Triple Crown in 2002 for the Arizona Diamondbacks with a record of 24-5, a 2.32 ERA, and 334 strikeouts. He won the Cy Young that same year. As you could tell, they wrote night on this because it's the night parallel, a short printed parallel to this card. The other one has a blue skylight on the background. It's pretty boring and basic. This one looks pretty cool with the lights in the background from the stadium, which is why I like this card. Randy Johnson, what else is there to say? Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers in the 2000s. He's 5 Cy Youngs, 4 consecutive Cy Youngs from 99 to 2002. Has a record of 4 consecutive seasons of 300 or more strikeouts. He's just amazing. 303 wins throughout his career, 4,875 strikeouts throughout his career, almost 1,000 less than Nolan Ryan, who ended up with 5,714. And to think, this pitcher only won 64 games by his 30th birthday. 64 games by his 30th birthday, meaning it took him that long for him to figure out his frame and be able to pitch. And this long frame ended up being the tallest guy in Major League history at 6'10", lending him the name of the Big Unit. But some say that he got that nickname from working a night gig as the Big Unit. As you could tell here, he's practicing his dancing routine on the pole. I don't know about that smile, but it looks like he's having fun there. As you can tell, there's no singles on the ground. Maybe I could make out a nickel or a few pebbles they pelted him with. But thank God he stuck with what he was better at, and that was working the mound as the Big Unit. So that's the Big Unit, 5-time Cy Young winner, Hall of Famer, and better known for his Mariner days, but he was very successful and World Series champion in 2001, broke the hearts of the Yankees, but we're not going to talk about that. So next up, I have here Bucky Walters from the Cincinnati Reds, Triple Crown winner 1939. He had 27 wins with a 2.29 ERA and 137 strikeouts, tied with Claude Pascal. I think that's what his name is, Claude Pascal. Sounds like he's French. He also won the MVP that same year. His real name is William Henry Walters. So he won the Triple Crown in 1939 along with the MVP, rightfully so. Had such a great year that year. He, for the Cincinnati Reds, he compiled a record of 160 wins with 107 losses with a 2.93 ERA. He had a 19-year career, but he was traded around in the beginning because he came up as a third baseman and was later converted as a pitcher with the Phillies. His average wasn't that high as a hitter, which is why they finally just gave up on him being a positional player and converted him as a pitcher. But the Reds saw what he had as a sinker baller and they liked it, and they just traded for him, and he became one of their best pitchers afterwards. He was an excellent hitter as a pitcher though, with an average of 243, 23 home runs, and 234 RBIs. And he helped the Reds win a World Series in 1940. So he's a World Series champion. In 1939, the year that he won the Triple Crown and the MVP, that year they were stymied by the Yankees. But he was very successful for the Reds and helped the Reds to a lot of success throughout those years. So last but not least, I have my latest pickup from the Dallas Card Show. This old Judge Tip O'Neill card from 1887, grade 2. It's got a blank back. He's representing the St. Louis Browns here. He's from Ontario, Canada, from Woodstock, Ontario. And he played 10 seasons in Major League Baseball. He was a pitcher who was later on converted as a left fielder. He was the second person to hit for the Triple Crown in 1887 with an average of .435, 14 home runs, and 123 RBIs. He actually set the Major League record with .435 until later on he was bested by Hugh Duffy, who batted for .440 for a season. But Tip O'Neill goes down as having the second highest average in baseball history. So he's dubbed as the Canadian Babe Ruth. Why? Because he came up as a pitcher for the New York Gothams, who was later on became the Giants. And in 1883 for the New York Gothams, he actually pitched with a 5-12 record, a .407 ERA, and was a fastball changeup pitcher who didn't experience too much success. Why? Because when hitters gauge the speed of the fastball from the changeup, they basically just waited on that fastball and clocked it. The St. Louis Browns liked his makeup and they traded for him. And the following year, in 1884, he had a record of 11-4 with a .268 ERA. So they were able to refine him, and he actually led the league with a .733 winning percentage. Now, unfortunately, he was injury plagued in 1885, and they decided to convert him to a hitter. So they put him out in left field, and he was a good hitter. And it turned out that in 1886, he was so good, his first year as a hitter, that he was second best in the league with WAR. That's how good he was. And then the following year, in 1887, that's the year he goes out and wins the Triple Crown. This man had a really good career, not great, not good enough to be considered a Hall of Famer, but he goes down in Canada as the Canadian Hall of Famer. He died young. He died in 1915 on New Year's Eve, out of all times to die, from suffering a heart attack while riding on a Montreal streetcar. So unfortunately, he didn't have a long career. He actually had a baseball team out in Canada. So he was doing things to promote the game and to further his love and passion for baseball. But unfortunately, he died young, and he did have a great, not a great career, a really good career, Triple Crown winner. You should say he's great, but it was only 10 seasons. He fell short of being a Hall of Famer, but he is in the Canadian Hall of Fame. So that's the career of Tip O'Neill, the second offensive Triple Crown winner. And now it's time to scratch off some names from this list. Update this now. Tip O'Neill right here. Let's give that a check mark. I have Randy Johnson and Bucky Walters right there. So I got a few more updates to send to you. I got my feelers out on some of these names, but they are proving to be very challenging the more and more these prices go up. And I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated with the way every time I check, these prices are going nuts. But I guess that's what makes it challenging for this collection, and to make this fun, where it might take what I thought 2 to 3 years, it might look like 5 to 10 with the way these prices have gone crazy. Anyway, join me on the next one. Until then, I'm gonna wish you all happy hunting when it comes to cards. Stay safe and be blessed.